So in today's class, we'll be studying iterative or incremental model under SDLC. Okay. So SDLC, in the last class only we have discussed. I have discussed the definition for software engineering and what is SDLC. So we have covered this one, right, in the last class itself. So SDLC is nothing but it's a software development life cycle. Okay. Software development life cycle. Okay, so it's a scientific process or scientific procedure. Some standard has to be followed to develop a particular software. Okay, so that is the SDLC. It says that it's a we need to develop a particular software by following some standards. Okay, so why we are following some standards? Why we are following some steps? Because to develop the particular software in a quality oriented way. Our ultimate aim is to develop that particular software in a quality oriented way. So that is the ultimate goal. Okay, so that's why we need to follow certain standards, certain steps to develop that particular software. Okay, so SDLC is a scientific process to develop the particular software. Okay, so under the SDLC, I have discussed in the previous classes that we can follow various SDLC model to develop a particular software. Like we can follow the Waterfall Model, we can follow the Iterative or Incremental Model, we can follow the Spiral Model, we can follow the Agile Model, we can follow the V Model, we can follow the Big Bang Model. So any kind of model you can follow according to your project requirement. Okay, according to your company, according to your industry standard. Okay, so you can follow any model to develop that particular software or to develop that particular project you have got. Okay, so in today's class I will discuss what is iterative or incremental model. Okay, so as you already know that in SDLC, what is the standard? What is the standard? In SDLC, you need to follow in a stepwise way. Okay, in a stepwise way means you need to first go through gathering the requirements or doing the analysis. Requirement gathering, that is the first phase you need to do. Then moving to the next phase. What is the next phase? That is the designing phase. You will be going for designing your particular project by using your UML. Okay, Unified Modeling Language. You will be using this modeling language UML. UML is what? UML is what? Unified Modeling Language. So you will be using the UML language to design a particular software. This is in the second phase. Okay, so this UML Unified Modeling Language you can design the particular project that is being assigned to you in the designing phase, second phase. Okay, so you can use various software for designing. Okay, so like you can use the Rational Rose which is a licensed version, or open source software you can use the Star UML in the open source software. Okay, so you will be designing by using the UML. Okay, so UML is nothing but it is a diagrammatical representation of your particular project, or you can say it as a pictorial representation of your particular project, or you can say it is a blueprint of your particular project. Okay, so by using the UML, that means UML is nothing but pictorially representing your particular project. Okay, so we have covered the waterfall model. Let us discuss today the iterative or incremental model. Okay, so in SDLC, so coming back SDLC, I was discussing SDLC. SDLC we are following different standards. So first one is analysis, requirement gathering. The second one is design, which I said use the UML. Okay, so by using the UML you will be designing. The third phase is development. Development means you will be going for implementation, that means the coding phase. Then next phase is your testing phase, while you are going for doing the various kinds of testing to your particular product. Testing phase completed. Next what phase? Next is deployment phase. Okay, you completed, you will need to release into the market. That is the deployment phase. And the final is maintenance. Okay, so you will be providing the maintenance to a particular project, to a particular product that you have developed and released in the market. Okay, so the same standard you need to follow. Okay, the same standard you need to follow. But what the iterative or incremental model under SDLC says that standard is same. Okay, the procedure is same, but here some advantages are there. Like waterfall model is having some advantages, some disadvantages. Likewise, your iterative or incremental model is having some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so later in the subsequently I will discuss in details. Okay, so in iterative model, first of all, what it says, this model, first of all, you have to gather the information. Okay, so analysis or requirement gathering. This you have done. Okay, this one has been completed. Next, moving to design. Okay, next moving to implementation. Okay, implementation completed. Next moving to testing. Testing completed. Next moving to deployment. Deployment completed. Deployment means releasing. Okay, then maintenance. Okay, so here this deployment and maintenance is on hold. You need to keep it on hold. Okay, see, this you call it as increment. Okay, next, this everything is completed. Analysis, requirement gathering, designing, implementation, testing completed. Okay, so this deployment and maintenance is on hold. Okay, next, again, analysis. Next, design. Next, implement. Next, testing. Next, this is in hold. Okay, you call this as increment 1. Okay, next, again, analysis, design, again, implement, again, testing, and this one is hold. Okay, so this continues. It is increment 1, this is increment 2. Increment 2. So this continues n number of times. Okay, increment 1, increment 2 to n number of times. So this will continue until you got the final quality product. Okay, final quality product. So what is the advantage by using the increment model? You can see over here. Here in the increment, the first beginning of your project, you have done the analysis, requirement gathering, you have gone for designing, implementation, testing. Okay, you have done this. Next, you are moving to another increment and starting from the same. Okay, you are moving to another increment and you are starting from the same. But it was not possible in the case of waterfall model. From top to bottom you can move, but from bottom to top you cannot move, or from middle to top you cannot move. Okay, once finalized, you have to move in a waterfall way. Okay, in waterfall model. Okay, first analysis completed, go to design, go to implement, go to testing. Okay, in waterfall model. Okay, in waterfall model you used to do. But in waterfall model from implementation to design, it was not possible. Or from testing to implementation, it was not possible. You cannot do the engineering. You cannot move backward. Okay, once move forward, you have to release it in the market. Okay, follow each and every steps, release in the market. That was the waterfall model. Okay, but in incremental model, you can observe right now. You have in increment one, in increment two, you have come to the first phase again. Analysis, design, implement, testing, complete. Again, in increment 2, you have come to the first phase again. Analysis, design, implement, testing, moving forward. Okay, so this increment you will be doing until you are getting the final quality product. Okay, so what advantage you got in this particular model? What advantage you got? See, in the waterfall model, when the client wants to add some extra features to the particular software, he was not able to add that extra features. Okay, if a project has moved to the implement phase and the client requests to add the extra feature in his particular software, the development team was unable to add the client requirement. Okay, in the waterfall model, that was the disadvantage. But that disadvantage is rectified in the incremental model. If right now, if the client wants to add some extra feature in his particular project, then he can give his idea to the development team, and development team can add the extra features in the particular project. Okay, that means again the analysis can start. Analysis increment 1, in increment 2, in increment 3. So in increment 3, again the project can start again. Okay, so in this increment 2, the client, for example, in this increment 2, the client wants to add some extra feature. So the development team can welcome that client request and add the extra feature in the particular project. Okay, then analysis, design, implement, testing. So this is the advantage in this increment model. Okay, so this step will follow. The n number of increments can be done, and this will be done until the final product that is being produced will be a quality oriented. Okay, so finally, when all the increments, when the satisfaction has been achieved, it will go for deployment. It will go for deployment and finally maintenance. Okay, so this is all about the incremental model. Okay, so the advantage of the incremental model is that it is very much flexible. It is very much flexible. Okay, as compared to the waterfall model. Okay, I hope you understood the incremental model. So with this, I am stopping the today's class. And you can just comment me below on what topic you want the lecture. I'll just make it and I'll just provide to you students. Okay, in a very easy and understandable way. Okay, for today, thank you. Namaste.